Merhaba, AMD uzun süredir merakla beklenen Llano kod adlı Fusion işlemcilerini yeni lanse etmeye başladı. Lansman etkinlikleri kapsamında Almanya'da da basın mensuplarına özel bir sunum yapıldı. Yanımızda AMD'nin mobil ürün pazarlamasından sorumlu kıdemli yöneticisi Raymond Dumbeck var. Kendisiyle Fusion işlemciler hakkında konuşacağız. Hi Raymond.
Hello, how are you?
Thank you very much. First of all, I want to ask you some questions about the Llano because it is a highly anticipated CPU from AMD, and after 4 or 5 years later, and you will launch it. And first of all, what do you say about the Fusion Llano processors?
What I've got to say about the Fusion Llano processors is that it's going to offer our customers a unique way to interface with their software. With all of that movement in the software community to OpenCL and direct compute, it will give all software suppliers the ability to harness the power of the GPU technology, enabling greater experiences that were not, feasible, just a few generations back.
So when we look at the Fusion-A series processors, it incites CPU and GPU together, and it likes some system-on-chip solutions. What are the differences between Fusion-A series and the competitor solutions?
What you'll find is that with our A-series APU is that we've actually integrated our Northbridge technology into the APU, whereas our competitor's architecture will actually have the x86 cores and GPU cores on the same piece of silicon, but not necessarily integrated.
So let's talk about the CPU side. Is it the new microarchitecture or the evolution of the current architecture?
What you've got is you've got actual discrete level or discrete class cores sitting on the APU itself. So similar to where you used to have a discrete card, for example, in your desktop, right? You would have an add-in graphics card. We've now got that same type of discrete class core integrated into our A-series APUs, giving people the ability to have a very wonderful HD experience.
What about GPU side?
When you add the GPU side, right, we have a discrete class GPU core on die on our A-series APUs. The great news about that is you get discrete class graphics every time you get an APU. But when you add a discrete add-in card with it, you get dual graphics. You have the ability for the discrete GPU on the die of the APU combined with the discrete add-in card together to give you up to 75% higher frame rates than the same machine with just the discrete card.
So gamers will play high-definition games with Fusion-A series processors?
They can, absolutely. And when you're talking about the price bands, you're talking about 699 US type price band, 700 US price bands. When you have a dual graphics-enabled system at that upper end, it's going to offer great frame rates and great gaming capability for you.
So one of the most important points of the platform efficiency is the balanced computing. When we look at your competitors, they provide some solutions, which is like the Optimus technology or the Virch technology, something like that. For example, when we browsing on the internet, just use the GPU inside the CPU, or want to play gaming, if you have discrete graphic cards, then we run it. So do you have any solutions like that?
What we do is actually we accelerate all of the Microsoft applications that people may use today. We accelerate Office 2010. We accelerate Internet Explorer 9, Silverlight, Cyberlink, Adobe Flash Video Playback. We accelerate a number of different applications that everyday users use.
So during the press conference, AMD always underlines that the supercomputing, people get supercomputing on the mobile solutions. So what is the aiming of the supercomputing?
When we talk about supercomputing, we talk about that in a number of different terms. Quad core with turbo core technology, the ability to speed up software, to make it run faster, to make it look better, and to help the machine go to sleep faster. Because again, when the software task is done, the machine goes to sleep, extending the battery life. We also have USB 3 native on all of our A-series APUs. So we don't have to have a discrete chip sitting outside of our APU, USB 3 supported on die.
So I think, if I am wrong, please correct me, AMD is the first company to provide USB 3 natively from the platform. Yes.
We are absolutely the first company to do that. Also, we're the only company today that has DirectX 11 capable solutions from the very top to the very bottom of our stack.
So as you know that AMD always criticizes the battery life, but with Fusion-A series processors you provide some new stuff. What about the all-day battery life?
What goes on with our A-series APUs, typically in a mainstream 15, 17-inch notebook, battery life was, at best case, 3 to 5 hours. What we're seeing now is up to 11 hours, or actually past 11 hours of resting battery life. So that's measuring it using Windows idle. Turn the machine on, turn the wireless on, turn your screen up, and you get around 11 hours. Now, worst case, running 3D Mark 06 in demo mode, right, just circling it, what will end up happening is that is absolutely the toughest thing that you can run on a machine because it runs the CPU utilization and GPU utilization up very high, north of about 80% on both. And that actually drains the battery very quickly. So when you look at our machines, even on the worst case, you're still getting over 2 hours, 2 hours and 48 minutes, I think the number was, on active battery life. So between 2 hours and 48 minutes, if you're just running the machine as hard as you can possibly run it, up to over 11 hours,
11 hours.
If you've got a machine that is literally just waiting for you to do something on it.
So with Brazos platform, AMD announced that more than 5 million chips sold today until today. So with Fusion-A series processors, what is your projection about the market with Fusion-A series?
Sure. So right now with our Fusion-A series our APUs, we've got over 150 design wins. That means OEMs have voted with their development dollars to create AMD platforms, over 150 design wins.
And as you know that the tablet PC market growing crazy, and you have some plan for that market. What can you say about the tablet PC market? And only you have some solution with tablets. Please give us some information.
We actually do. We have a Z series, again Z series APU that offers the ability to go in very thin, small form factors like tablets, and offering a great Windows experience. So you get the connectivity that you're used to, you get all of the interaction that you're used to, the use of the applications that you're used to, all from an A-series APU, but you also get DirectX 11 capabilities, so you get a very powerful visual engine in that AMD Z-series APU-based tablet.
So before ending our interview, do you have any message to say our audiences and readers?
What I will tell you is, when you look to AMD for your, an AMD-based system for your PC needs, you're going to get a wonderful, brilliant HD experience. You're going to get a very powerful supercomputing experience right in the palm of your hand, and you're going to get all-day battery life.
So, Raymond, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Berlin'de AMD'nin Fusion-A serisi işlemcilerin lansmanındayız. Raymond Lumbek'le konuştuk. Bir sonraki videomuzda görüşmek üzere. Şimdilik hoşça kalın.